Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's D Train, chilling here. Wanted to touch on this DACA meeting because I'm seeing some stuff on the news. I'm hearing sound bites. I'm seeing things that okay, look, I'm D Train. All right, first of all, so I watched this. I watched the video of the DACA meeting. I would have to say at least three and a half times. Okay. So, and not only that, I think I'd like to first start off by showing this screen. I'm going to do this screen share of this thing that I made that I put together while I was watching it. So really, if you want to think about it, if you go through the 3 or 4 times I went back to see what the exact time was for each clip, right? If you do that, I mean, I had to go through like maybe 3 4 times. So I probably watched this video, 4 or 5 times in its entirety. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like so. All right, so let's get into it. I wanted to first put a what you call up just to show. I'm gonna do page by page so that it's at the beginning, so that if anybody needs to come back and see what I wrote, they can do that. So that's the next part up to 22:05. Okay, and this one goes up to 27 and a half minutes. Oh yeah, I got to get into that Lindsey Graham part. Yep, Steny Hoyer, he said some stuff. Got to definitely get into that Feinstein thing. Oh my gosh, man. There's so much there were so many little intricacies that if you didn't really watch it and you just watch what the news is saying, you would think that it was a bad meeting. I can't tell you how many times I heard, look, we've been working on this for 10 years and this feels like it's the closest I've seen it in all that time. Right? So I'm going to go back up. All right. So opening statements, and I'm probably going to have to do some of this on the video. All right. 119, he says it's got to be a bill of love. It's a bunch of loopholes that need to be kind of clamped down on. They need equipment, border security funds. Let me see. Chain migration, visa lottery. Okay, so that was a part of the video where he wanted to add that into what time was that? He wanted to add that in, make sure that was in the bill along with the wall. So he was like, we're not getting the best people. They're just calling it a lottery. And what he was saying was that people are putting certain people that they don't want there on in the lottery so that their names come up when they get sent here. And I didn't realize that was going on, but I could see how it could. Um, what were some interesting parts of it? I'm trying to think. I probably remember better if I just scroll through the video and see who's talking and then try to remember, what. Okay. Okay, so this was a little bit earlier on. Steny was a little ornery. This guy right here, Kevin McCarthy, he was pretty cool. But Steny, he pretty much kept it real. Him and Chuck Grassley, they just said, "Look, man, Chuck Grassley and who was the other guy? The guy he was like all the way on the other side of the table. Let me see. Was it that part? No, it was like farther up here. This guy was talking. I forget his name. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it was this guy right here. This guy was talking, and I forget his name. Bless his heart. I apologize, dude. I could probably look on here and see what his name is. Kevin McCarthy, Bob Goodlad. That wasn't him, but let me see what part of that is. That's 35 minutes. See, look, I got all these. So that's why I wanted to put this on here. They wouldn't allow Kevin McCarthy. No, that wasn't Kevin McCarthy. David Perdue. That was it. David Perdue. See? Told y'all, man. I don't be messing around. But I had to say the most concise points was Secretary Christian Nielsen. And I want to play that real quick because she made it. But before I get into the other people who kind of were trying to get things stirred up, and I'll get into that. But Christian Nielsen, she pretty much nailed it. She pretty much said, "Look, man, we're gonna need a wall. We need security. We can't have this this what's going on without securing the border." Okay, so let me turn this up a little bit. I hope it's not too loud. I'm gonna play it.
Worker, 70%.
David, chain migration, though, has taken a very big hit in the last year with what's happening. I mean, you're looking at these killers, whether you like or not. We're looking at these killers, and then you see 18 people came in, 22 people came in, 30 people came in with this one person that just killed a lot of people. I really don't believe there are a lot of Democrats that are going to be supporting chain migration anymore.
Should we have the Homeland Security?
Yeah, if you don't mind, just on a couple things on border security. I just want to try to make sure we're all linking. The reason that border security is so important to have as part of this discussion is that it doesn't solve the problem if we can apprehend people, but we can't remove them. So we need the wall system, which is some physical infrastructure, as the president described, personnel and technology, but we have to close those legal loopholes, because the effect of that is this incredible pull up from Central America that just continues to exacerbate the problem. So border security has to be part of this, or we will be here again in 3, 4, 5 years. Again, maybe unfortunately sooner. The other point I would just make is the president asked DHS, he asked the men and women of DHS, what do you need to do your job? Congress and the American people have entrusted to you the security of our country. What is it that you need? The list that we have provided is what we need to do our mission that you asked us to do. It's not less than, it's not more than, it is what we need to close those loopholes to be able to protect our country. So I would just encourage everyone, much more eloquently than I can, describe all the reasons why we all, I think, are committed to helping the DACA population. But to truly solve the problem, it's got to be in conjunction with border security.
Jeff?
I would just echo what
it's Jeff Flake coming up. All right, Jeff Flake, you know what? Whatever, dude. Whatever. I don't feel like hearing you right now. I got better things to talk about here. Let's okay. I wanna talk about that soundbite that Lindsey Graham just had to make sure he got that in there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, dudes. Dudes, Ritas, where you at? I got you. I got you in my crosshairs now, dog. I mean, I you know, I thought I was. You've been on in the dome. You've been taking up a little space in there for a little bit, but when you did this, you know, it kind of like set up a few intent. Okay, 27:30. Okay, so he's reiterating some of the things that some other people were saying, but he did make some good points. I have to say, he did make some good points. But it was okay. All right, watch it. All right, watch it. First watch it, and then I'm gonna tell you what, and then you could see for yourself.
Genius, literally, meaning about them. And their wives never thought that was possible, right? No, the country is doing well in so many ways, but there's such divisiveness, such division. And I really believe we can solve that. I think this system is a very bad system in terms of getting together. And I'm going to leave it up to you, but I really believe you can do something to bring it together.
Other than going to dinner with Bob, I've been doing this.
Lindsey Graham.
I don't think I've seen a better chance to get it done
I'm
than I
sorry. He
do
just
right now.
said, hold on. He said, I've been at this for 10 years. That's what he said. But I'm going to go back so you can hear it so you don't hear me babbling.
System is a very bad system in terms of getting together. And I'm going to leave it up to you, but I really believe you can do something to bring it together.
Other than going to dinner with Bob, I've been doing this for 10 years. I don't think I've seen a better chance to get it done than I do right now because of you. John's right. I'm not going to support a bill if you don't support it. I've had my head beat out a bunch. I'm still standing. I'm Lindsey Gramnesty, Lindsey Gomez, you name every name you want to give to me. It's been assigned to me. And I'm still standing. The people of South Carolina want a result. How could I get elected? I've been for a pathway to citizenship for 11 million people because I have no animosity toward them. I don't want crooks. I don't want bad hombres. I want to get a merit-based immigration system to make sure we can succeed in the 21st century. I'm willing to be more than fair to 11 million. I just don't want to do this every 20 years. Now, we made the decision, Mr. President, not to do it comprehensively. I think that's a smart decision, but a hard decision. We passed 3 comprehensive bills out of the Senate with over 65 votes. They go to the House and die, and I'm not being disparaging to my House colleagues. This is tough politics if you're a Republican House member turning on the radio. To my Democratic friends, thanks for coming. The Resist movement hates this guy. They don't want him to be successful at all. You turn on Fox News, and I can hear the drumbeat coming. Right-wing radio and TV talk show hosts are going to beat the crap out of us because it's going to be amnesty all over again. I don't know if the Republican and Democratic Party can define love, but I think what we can do is do what the American people want us to do. 62% of the Trump voters support a pathway to citizenship for the DACA kids if you have strong borders. You have created an opportunity here, Mr. President, and you need to close the deal.
Thank you, Lindsay. It's very interesting because I do have people that are, let's just to use a very common term, very far right and very far left. They're very unhappy about what we're doing, but I really don't believe they have to be because I really think this sells itself. And when you talk about comprehensive immigration reform, which is where I would like to get to eventually, if we do the right bill here, we are not very far away. We've done most of it. If you want to know the truth, Dick, if we do this properly, DACA, you're not so far away from comprehensive immigration reform. And if you
Boom. Goodness gracious, man. and I wonder, you know what, after listening to it, see, that's the thing. You listen to it again, you hear more stuff. Okay, Lindsay, that was a good job. But I do still feel, Lindsay, come on, Lindsay. Hey, hold on. Eyeball to eyeball, Lindsay. Eyeball to eyeball, Lindsay. Hey, Lindsay. Where's my finger? Can you see my finger? Lindsay, hey, look. I know you were trying to get a sound bite. You came into that meeting with a sound bite, dog. You know it. Stop bullshitting. Don't bullshit D-Train. You can't bullshit D-Train. D-Train got that eye. You can't see it, but it sees you. All right, now let's get back to this. I want to jump to this Dianne Feinstein part because that was an interesting exchange. Let's go back to the screen share, shall we? That was a really interesting exchange. Okay, so I think it's at 35. 35. Where's 35? Okay, so he goes to Dianne Feinstein. I don't see Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi came out today talking shit. She wasn't even there in the meeting. Now we know why, because she's going to disparage everybody that was in the meeting. Right? So he's getting ready to go to Dianne Feinstein. And okay, so let's set this up. Damn, I feel like I gotta go back to the beginning. Gosh, man, I gotta go back to the beginning because that'll show you what happened. That'll show you where he's coming from, where he started from. So I think that's 224. He was starting from this premise. Okay. This is the premise he's starting from.
says no. Second, it has to be a bill to end chain migration.
Okay, hold on.
But I think that I read of real this close that we have to ice the simple people
Okay.
the border security agents, the ICE agents. We have to give them the equipment they need. We have to close loopholes, and this really does include a very strong amount of different things for border security. I think everybody in the room would agree to that. I think that it's a question of amounts, but I think everyone agrees we have to have border security. I don't think there'd be anybody that says no. Second, it has to be a bill to end chain migration. Chain migration is bringing in many, many people with one, and often it doesn't work out very well. Those many people are not doing us right. And I think a lot of people in the room, I'm not sure I can speak for everybody, but a lot of the people in this room want to see chain migration ended. And we have a recent case along the West Side Highway having to do with chain migration, where a man ran over, killed 8 people, and many people injured badly, loss of arms, loss of legs. Horrible thing happened. And then you look at the chain and all the people that came in because of him. Terrible situation. And the other is cancel the lottery program. They call it visa lottery. I just call it lottery, where countries come in and they put names in a hopper. They're not giving you their best names. Common sense means they're not giving you their best names. They're giving you people that they don't want. And then we take them out of the lottery. And where they do it by hand, where they put the hand in a bowl, like probably what's in their hand are the worst of the worst.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for being here.
Like,
I'm
the 3
thrilled
main
to
things: DACA,
be with a
border,
distinguished group of
security,
Republican and Democratic
and,
lawmakers from
chain
both the
migration,
House
chain
and the Senate.
immigration and lottery
We have
program.
something in common. We'd like
He
to
also
see
wants to put
this
merit
get
based
done.
in there somewhere.
And you know what this means. We're here today to advance bipartisan immigration reform that serves the needs of the American families, workers, and taxpayers. It's DACA. We've been talking about DACA for a long time. I've been hearing about it for years, long before I decided to go into this particular line of work. And maybe we can do something. We have a lot of good people in this room, a lot of people that have a great spirit for taking care of people we represent, we all represent. For that reason, any legislation on DACA, we feel, at least a strong part of this group feels, has to accomplish 3 vital goals. And Chairman Goodlatte will be submitting a bill over the next 2 to 3 days that will cover many of the things. And obviously that will, if it gets passed, it'll go to the Senate and they can negotiate it. We'll see how it all turns out.
And that's what I just played. So along with DACA, he's saying, I want these 3 things. I want the border security, the wall, you're right. Chain migration ended, and the lottery program done away with because of some of the occurrences that have happened. So let's get to this Dianne Feinstein. All right, so that's his premise. That's where he's starting from, right? So you got to look at it the way he's looking at it. He's like, all right, I already said from the beginning, within the first minute, where I'm starting from, and she comes, what is it, 35? Of course, I mean, you know what? Hey, that's it. Hey, you know what? That's where a negotiator goes, and I have to. You know what? You gotta give it to her on that. Hell, that's part of the art of the damn deal too. Shit, start high, right? I don't know. Hey, look, I gotta show y'all something. I got the book.
Real thing. This one, the OG.
All right, so let's
I'm
start.
not going to say, oh, gee, I want this or I want that. I'll be signing it because I have a lot of confidence in the people in this room that you're going to come out with something really
wow,
good.
yeah.
Senator, would you like to say something?
He just said that thing that everybody was heard on the news. He said that right before Dianne Feinstein said,
delay DACA somewhat.
I don't want to do that. You said at the outset we need to phase this. I think the first phase is what Chuck and Stenny and I have mentioned, others as well. We have a deadline looming and a lot of lives hanging. We can agree on some very fundamental and important things together on border security, on chain, on the future of diversity visas. Comprehensive, though, I worked on it for 6 months with Michael Bennett and a number of Bob Menendez and Schumer and McCain and Jeff Flake and It took us 6 months to put it together. We don't have 6 months for the DACA.
We're not talking about comprehensive. But take a look at our bill.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned a number of factors that are going to be controversial, as Cindy has mentioned.
But you're going to negotiate, Dick, you're going to negotiate. And maybe we'll agree and maybe we won't. I mean, it's possible we're not going to agree with you and it's possible we will, but there should be no reason for us not to get this done. And Chuck, I will say, when this group comes back, hopefully with an agreement, this group and others from the Senate, from the House, comes back with an agreement, I'm signing it. I mean, I will be signing it. I'm not going to say, oh, gee, I want this or I want that. I'll be signing it because I have a lot of confidence in the people in this room that you're going to come out with something really good. Senator, would you like to say something, Diane?
As you know, we tried for comprehensive immigration reform in the Senate. It was on the floor. There were a number of amendments. It got a lot of attention in the Judiciary Committee, and then the House didn't take it up. I think there needs to be a willingness on both sides. And I think, and I don't know how you would feel about this, but I'd like to ask the question. What about a clean DACA bill now? With a commitment that we go into a comprehensive immigration reform procedure like we did back, I remember when Kennedy was here. And it was really a major effort. And it was a great disappointment that it went nowhere.
I remember that. I have no problem. I think that's basically what Dick is saying. We're going to come out with DACA. We're going to do DACA, and then we can start immediately on the phase 2, which would be
Would
comprehensive.
you be agreeable to that?
Yeah, I would like to do that. Go ahead. I think a lot of people would like to see that. But I think we have to do DACA.
Mr. President, wait.
Okay, so he's thinking, oh yeah, let's get DACA done. But in his brain, he's thinking, yeah, with the wall and the border security, he's like, yeah, no brainer, dude. Yeah, so we're not very far off. He's still like on, okay, yeah, clean, meaning let's just clean this shit up. You get what you want and I get what I want, right? Somebody threw out the number 18 billion. I think that came from the Hawaiian senator, right? A little bit later on in the thing. So now, so he's not thinking politician wise. He's thinking, okay, I set this out and you set that out. That's what I think, and that's and then he said, all right. So then she said a clean bill. He's thinking, okay, yeah, clean meaning, oh, yeah, you get DACA and I get the wall, and we got to end that other stuff that's been allowing some nefarious individuals into our country. Okay. He's like, well, that's like a no-brainer. So it's really 1-to-1. In his mind, it's like 1-to-1, right? I get the wall, you get the thing. But along with that wall, we need to cut out this fat, these bad people coming in. So here, these other politicians in the room, they like, no, dog. That's not what she's saying. She's saying she just gets everything she wants right now, and then we would negotiate some other stuff later.
I think what Senator Feinstein is asking here, when we talk about just DACA, we don't want to be back here 2 years later. We have to have security, as the secretary would tell you.
But I think that's what she said.
See? But I think that's what she said. He's already like, yeah, the border security. And he's about to and look at him. Look at his face. He's like, oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't know she's coming for all the goods. And look at Steny Hoyer. Steny's like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, no. I'm just Steny's like, yo, I ain't gonna say nothing right now. But Steny was on the stump a minute ago. Steny, he knows what's going on. He knows what's going on. President Trump knows what's going on inside his brain. Is like, yeah, she's agreeing with us. But that ain't what she's doing. She's trying to get in some other extra stuff. So we just getting this straightened out. That's all it is. It's not that he's not sharp. It's that he's sharp. That's why he's got a lot of people in the room, because different people hear things a different way, and he's not coming from that politician world. He's coming from that business world. And when you saying, okay, yeah, let's get a clean bill, that's what I'm saying. because also what's being thrown around is immigration reform. They just talked about that like 2 minutes ago. So he's like, so it's not that he doesn't want the wall and stuff. It's that they're throwing a lot of things around in this meeting, and he's like, we could go for it all. I'm down. I'm down for it all, right? But he's like, look, if you want to get something done before March 5th, you need to just focus on this one part. This one part is the clean part. This one part is the DACA, the wall, border security, get rid of the migrant thing and the lottery thing. What was it? I don't want to say just the migrant thing because people will be all like, oh, migrants. Chain migration and visa lottery. If you want to get specific, so let's keep it moving.
Well, I think she's saying something different.
They on her ass. Let's keep
I'm thinking you're saying DACA without security. Are you talking about security as well?
Well, I think if we have some meaningful, comprehensive immigration reform, that's really where the security goes. And if we could get the DACA bill, because March is coming and people are losing their status every day.
McSally's like, oh, hell no. Chuck Grassley's like, nah, dog, that ain't gonna work. You can see which ones in the you can see who the Democrats versus the Republicans are. You can see which ones are.
But let's
Body
be honest,
language.
security was voted on just a few years ago. And no disrespect, there's people in the room on the other side of the aisle who voted for it.
Mic
If I
drop.
recall, Senator Clinton voted for it. So I don't think that's comprehensive. I think that's dealing with DACA at the same time. I think that's really what the president's making. It's kind of like three pillars. DACA, because we're all in the room want to do it. Border security, so we're not back out here, and chain migration. It's just three items. And then everything else that's comprehensive is kind of moved to the side. So I believe when the president talks about DACA and lottery.
And I think you should add merit. I mean, if you can, add merit.
Look,
I don't think
that's the art of the deal. Look, man, who would complain? Who would not want to say merit? Who wouldn't want that? Right? Like, who wouldn't want, the best of the best to come, right? And who's to say who's the best of the best? I know some people who've done lots of different things from other countries, after they got here. They may have done something over there, and then when they got here, they did a restaurant. They started a business doing something else, and now they, are working on air, heating and air. Now, they be changing out, water heaters and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best of the best. I don't know how he started and how he got over here, but my homeboy who does that, and I don't want to put him on out there like that because I don't know if you'd want it out there, but that's the best of the best. That's good people. I'm sure, I'm sure his papers are all good, but I'm just saying, like, if you have other people like that whose things aren't in order so much, but they're hustling and trying, how do you do that merit based? I guess you'd kind of look into them where they are in their country and say, okay, what does he hustle over here? Is he a hard worker where he's from? It'd be interesting to see how they do that. But he's saying, look, get rid of that lottery system too. He said, McCarthy just said, look, that's just two things. I mean, three things. Trump forms, he's like, in the lottery system. And I think you should add merit based. But here's the interesting thing that you're not hearing about, though.
I don't know who's going to argue with merit based. Who can argue with merit based?
Diane, go ahead.
What incentive then will it be to
Do you really
do
think that
comprehensive
there can
after
be
you do that?
agreement on all of that? Quickly,
Diane, go ahead.
to get DACA passed in time, wanted to ask Mr. McCarthy
Yeah,
a
Kevin.
question.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Do you really think there can be agreement on those three difficult subjects you raised in time to get DACA passed and effective? So.
Yes, because you have heard from Leader McConnell and Speaker Ryan, who said they will put the bill onto the floor if the president agrees to it. And us getting to the room, I haven't seen us be this close and having this discussion in quite a few years, of the last 4 years. So I think, yes, we can make this happen. We all know it. We've done it before. You and I spent a long time. We did probably one of the most difficult things to do in California, water. And I believe we can get there, and we can just keep working each day on this.
I think what we're all saying is we'll do DACA, and we can certainly start comprehensive immigration reform the following afternoon, okay? We'll take an hour off and then we'll
See,
start.
what he's,
But I
what
do
he's
believe-
saying is DACA is the whole thing that he's talking about right there in that statement. We can do DACA now and then immigration reform after that, the following morning, an hour later. Those are just two things to him. DACA includes everything he wants and what they want. And I'm pretty sure what they want is a lot of stuff included in there. You know what I'm saying? If you look at everything that, it's a lot of, it's a lot of people, and it's going to be more coming in the other bill that of the immigration reform. See, there we go. No. Oh man, where is? See, there was a part where he was talking about bringing back what do you call it? What do you call it when you get deals? Gosh, man. Yeah, this is good radio or whatever. Basically, he said he wanted to bring back some of the pork. He said bring back some of that pork, man. I forget what they call it though, so he said bring back the pork. I wish Steny Hoyer laughs. Where did I have that? It was right around there. Where did Steny Hoyer smiles? See, you can look through here. Yeah, I'm skimming. There we go. 2552. 2552. See, I knew what I was thinking when it happened, so that's how I could find it. 2552. Let's start at 25 because he's talking about entitled
DACA. I think I hope we're going to get infrastructure done in the same way, but I think you should look at a form of earmarks. I see Lindsay
earmarks. That's
it.
Yes.
But a lot of the pros are saying that if you want to get along and if you want to get this country really rolling again, you have to look at a different form because this is obviously out of control. The levels of hatred, and I'm not talking about Trump, I'm talking you go back throughout the 8 years of Obama and you go before that, the animosity and the hatred between Republicans and Democrats. I mean, I remember when I used to go out in Washington and I'd see Democrats having dinner with Republicans and they were best friends and everybody got along. You don't see that too much anymore. I had no due respect. You really don't see that. When was the last time you took a Republican out? Why did you guys go out to have dinner? But you don't see it. So maybe, very importantly, totally different from this meeting because we're going to get.
Okay. I got to get to this last part. Because this was part of it too. They said that he was going to agree to anything. He would get rid of what he wanted, but that wasn't the case. I rely on the people in this room. Okay, I can build it for less. Oh, okay, okay. It includes the. Yeah, I just played that, I think. Question. So you wouldn't support a clean DACA bill, and Trump clarifies what clean means. Yeah, and he says it again. 50. I broke that down for y'all. I'm telling you. In his mind, it's just two things, and the two things includes a lot of stuff, and a lot of people are trying to put on him that, oh no, you want a lot of stuff. No, I mean it's a lot. I mean he's taking a lot of heat for just agreeing to what he's saying he's gonna agree to.
Situation without additional wall, and we have to fix existing wall that we already have.
So you would not support
Certain areas, obviously, that aren't.
Border security, listen to the folks that are from the border.
Oh,
And
this
you
guy-
folks are gonna have to,
Before
you're
you-
one voice. You folks are gonna have to
Before
come
you-
up with a solution. And
Yes,
if you do, I'm gonna sign that solution.
Yes,
We have a lot of smart people in this room, really smart people. We have a lot of people that are good people, big hearts, they want to get it done. I think almost everybody, I can think of one or two I don't particularly like, but that's okay. No, I think everybody, look, Henry, everybody wants I'm trying to figure that out. Everybody wants a solution. You want it, Henry, and I want it. I think we have a great group of people to sit down and get this done. In fact, when the media leaves, which I think should be probably pretty soon. But I will tell you, I liked opening it up to the media because I think they see more than anything else that we're all very much on a similar page, not the same page. And Henry, I think we can really get something done.
Yes, sir.
So why don't we ask the media to leave? We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for your willing to do what President Mr. Clark without the wall. Is there any agreement without the wall?
No.
You need it. So you would
John, you need the wall. I mean,
You need the wall,
it's
look.
wonderful. I'd love not to build the wall, but you need the wall. And I will tell you this, the ICE officers and the Border Patrol agents, I had them just recently up.
He just said,
They
I
say
don't know,
if
I
you
don't
don't have the
understand
wall,
where
you know, in
people are
certain
coming
areas,
from.
obviously, that aren't protected by nature. If you don't have the wall, you cannot have security. You just can't have it. It doesn't work. And part of the problem we have is walls and fences that we currently have are in very bad shape. They're broken. We have to get them fixed or rebuilt. But, you know, you speak to the agents, and I spoke to all of them. I lived with them. They endorsed me for president, which they've never done before, the Border Patrol agents and ICE. They both endorsed Trump, and they never did that before. And I have a great relationship with them. They say, sir, without the wall, security doesn't work. We're all wasting time. Now, that doesn't mean 2,000 miles of wall, because you just don't need that because of nature, because of mountains and rivers and lots of other things. But we need a certain portion of that border to have the wall. If we don't have it, you can never have security. You can never stop that portion of drugs that comes through that area. Yes, it comes through planes and lots of other ways, and ships, but a lot of it comes through the southern border. You can never fix the situation without additional wall, and we have to fix existing wall that we already have.
So you would not support what Senator Feinstein asked you, which would be a clean DACA bill that doesn't.
No, I think a clean DACA bill to me is a DACA bill where we take care of the 800,000 people. They're actually not necessarily young people. Everyone talks about young, you know, they could be 40 years old, 41 years old,
Right.
but they're also 16 years old. But I think, to me, a clean bill is a bill of DACA. We take care of them, and we also take care of security. That's very important. And I think the Democrats
Boom.
want security too. I mean,
Boom.
we started off with Steny saying we want security also. Everybody wants security. And then we can go to comprehensive later on, and maybe that is a longer subject and a bigger subject.
Okay, so he breaks it down. I don't even understand why people see. That's the thing, man. People don't watch the whole thing, and people don't watch it 3, 4, 5 fucking times. Sorry.
And I think we can get that done too, but we'll get it done at a later date. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
President, I'm Senator Hirono from
Yes, I
Hawaii.
know.
That's the only immigrants.
You know what? You know what? She asked a decent question, but it was. I like this. The end of this right here. I like this last part because you got to remember what time this was. You got to remember this was like right around the time of. Matter of fact, no. You know, I'm just gonna play it. I'm just gonna play it.
confidence in the people. If they come to me with things that I'm not in love with, I'm going to do it because I respect them. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be Oprah would be a lot of fun.
That's it. That's it. Here we go.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be Oprah would be a lot of fun. I know her very well. You know, I did one of her last shows. She had Donald Trump. This is before politics. Her last week. And she had Donald Trump, and my family was very nice. No, I like Oprah. I don't think she's going to run.
But you bring it Republican.
I don't think she's going to run. I know her very well.
Let's wait about that for the president.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, you heard it. You heard it. Play that again. Yeah,
thank you all very much.
He might have just been repeating what he was saying. Would you beat Oprah? Yeah, I'd beat Oprah would be a lot of fun. I think Oprah would be a task, but I don't know if she wants that heat though, man. Like he's taking a lot of hits personally, you know, in his, you know, life and whatnot. So and look, I'm still on DACA, right? And today and yesterday, right? Today and yesterday. There's just been more stuff going on. The man doesn't stop, dude. You can't knock the damn hustle. He did that before becoming president, and he's still going. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He's like the Energizer president. Anyway, I think that's about it. I think I got mostly everything I wanted to put. You know, I got the earmarks thing in there. I got the Oprah thing. I got the DACA with the Feinstein. I touched on Lindsey Graham, looking for a soundbite possibly. I didn't hit on Henry Cuellar much, but he was talking about how most of the drugs come in other ways. But look, man, we talking about dealing with the fundamental problem of border security. And yes, I believe we do need to tighten up on the ports too. And not in the TSA way, but more like what's coming in. Because I feel like if some like crazy stuff is coming into the country, then somebody knows about it. Somebody high up probably. So anyway, I'm gonna cut that off right there. I think last night I was supposed to have been doing a thing, and I was like, oh man, I got 20 minutes. I'm gonna like take a 5-minute nap. It turned into like a 3-hour nap, and my daughter's waking me up to take her to school. So I think I have a little bit more energy this evening. So anyway, signing off. This is D Train with D Train's Bunk. Peace out. Later. Booyah.